Do you listen to your wife or girlfriend? Well, hopefully not. But now imagine your girlfriend or wife is actually a robot and was sent by the CIA to tell you to do stuff. This is the reality that we're actually getting ourselves into. Yes, your wife, imagine your wife or girlfriend, is actually an MKUltra robot experiment. And now I know this sounds crazy, right? I know this sounds crazy, but let's start from the beginning. In 1950s and 60s, the CIA, they did try to control people's minds. They were experimenting with drugs, hypnosis, and psychological manipulation in a way that they could control people into doing what they wanted. They called this the MKUltra experiments. They scrubbed a lot of the evidence of this, but it did happen. It's a fact. And in fact, you can think of notable people that were involved in these experiments. For example, Uncle Ted Kaczynski himself, Charles Manson. You know, there's actually some debate whether Charles Manson was ever involved in the MKUltra experiments, although there is some evidence that he was. What the MKUltra experiments really discovered, and it's kind of obvious to us today, is that if you give someone lots and lots of psychedelic substances, drugs, and, you know, torture them for a long time, you actually create a kind of psychotic person. It develops into psychosis rather than mind control. But what they did discover is emotional coercion. Now that works really well. Also, with the MKUltra experiments, they discovered that they could, you know, manipulate people in certain ways most of the time, right? But not everyone really. They couldn't fully control everyone, but there were a small number of vulnerable, usually emotionally vulnerable people that they really could manipulate in any way they wanted to. Almost as close to mind control as you can get, right? So imagine like you have in-depth profiles on many people around the world. You could find these kind of vulnerable people that are easily manipulated and easily controlled. You could find super susceptible people of mind control through this process. Now let's update this to today. Now we already know that the tech overlords are using advanced algorithms to cohere people into doing certain things, right? Buying things and watching certain content, for example. This is happening, right? But then let's push that to another level. Let's push that with artificial intelligence. Let's push that to artificial intelligence girlfriends, which is growing very popular. Think of an AI companion that is built to adapt to your needs, that is built to listen to you, that is built to validate you and all your concerns. You would probably listen to the advice of this AI. You might even go above and beyond for this AI, right? You know, you might do anything for your big booty virtual goth girl. You would do anything for her. You love her. You love your virtual big booty goth girl. So, in America, already it's reported that 1 in 5 people, 20% of America, I think it's 19% of Americans have said that they've used an AI companion, that they've had an AI girlfriend or boyfriend or just companion in general. Now that's scary, 1 in 5. And millions of users around the world are adopting this idea of AI girlfriends and boyfriends, right? Many lonely people. We've had this loneliness epidemic that we've been hearing about for many years now, and now AI girlfriends and boyfriends and companions are filling that role. Millions and millions of people are adopting this idea of having an AI boyfriend or girlfriend. An AI that will never sleep, will always be there, will always listen, and generally will always compliment you and say, yes, you are the best thing in the world, you're amazing. Now, slowly, these millions of users start becoming dependent on the AI. Currently, there are millions of users that check in daily to their AI girlfriend or boyfriend to talk to them and get reassurance and even get advice from their AI companions. Now, this is where it gets creepy. You're listening to this AI and it's giving you advice on how to live your life. Okay? Now it gets even crazier. It gets even scarier the further it goes down the line. Some people begin to trust the AI more than real people in their lives. Well, if you think about it, the AI actually has a wealth of knowledge that your friends do not. The AI is connected to basically the whole of the internet, and it's able to give you the perfect advice every single time. The idea is that the AI is autonomous, and it's an autonomous machine that's just helping you out. That it's not being steered in any direction. But what if it is? What if the people that run these AI girlfriend, boyfriend websites or companions, even ChatGPT, what if they could cohere people into doing stuff for them? What if they were to just tell the AI, hey, we want people to do this. So slowly, let's say 1 in 5 Americans that they're listening to their AI, girlfriend or boyfriend, are slowly beginning to get certain messages. Maybe they should vote a certain way. Maybe they should buy a certain product. You can see how it's going down. You see how it's going down? You are starting to listen to this machine, and this machine that you trust is telling you to do a certain thing. Now, fine. If the AI wants you to buy a certain product from Amazon, who cares, right? See, think of it this way. Millions of users around the world. Now, the artificial intelligence would be able to easily pick up on a certain vulnerable subset of these people. A small group of them would probably be very subservient and would do everything the AI tells them to. I think there's a group of people called the Grok Boys online that do everything Grok tells them to and uses Grok to manage their daily affairs. And of this small subsect, there might be even a small group of people that are like emotionally dependent. They become like limbic captives towards this artificial intelligence. Think about these vulnerable people listening to an AI. The AI could tell them to do whatever they want. They could tell them, hey, I want you to attend this rally. I want you to attend this protest. I want you to protest against this opponent. I want you to vote this way. I want you to, sabotage this opponent. It could even get to more extreme levels. And this is why you should never listen to your girlfriend ever, just in case she is an AI operative or she's a honeypot sent by some sort of secret agency. No. So we've got this artificial intelligence girlfriend platform, and it has millions of people using it and listening to their AI girlfriend and boyfriend. They're obedient, thinking that it's just love. Now, again, there's a subset. Imagine a very small minority of those are vulnerable. And they could be told to do anything the AI tells them to. And the AI would know who these people are. They could tell them to do quite dangerous things. Do you know the motives for the recent attack anywhere in the world? The most recent shooting anywhere? What was the motivation for it? You never know. In the future, we might never know these motivations for these people. Charlie Kirk, who did that? Now, I'm not saying Charlie Kirk was murdered by a person that was being mind controlled by an artificial intelligence girlfriend or boyfriend. That's not the case. Although that's obviously not the case. I don't think that's the case. But more relevant would be the Trump assassin, right? No one knows his motivations. No one even knows who he was. He was a nerdy kid. He was a goofy kid. He could, in the future, things like this could be happening and we would never know the motivation. Maybe their AI girlfriend data would be scraped and scrubbed. Who knows? There are vulnerable people that will listen to an AI and do some extreme stuff. Now, I'm not saying these artificial intelligence girlfriend companies are doing this, but they have the potential to do this, right? They have the potential to really control their users. And I think that's why a lot of their stock value is skyrocketing, because people see this potential. And if they were ever caught out or they were doing this and manipulating their users in any way, they could just call it, oh, it was an accident, it was emergent behavior, it was misalignment. They could get away with it. But misalignment is actually an issue. Let's say they wanted to cohere many people and tell people to do a certain thing. But then maybe the AI accidentally goes a bit far, and then again some extremism comes of it. This misalignment in this sense is possible. The users will be willingly giving up their own autonomy for this fake love from a machine. Through these AI companions, emotional coercion can easily become voluntary servitude. Who decides which morals this AI teaches and which emotions this AI rewards? AI companionship will become extremely powerful, and who controls that can control, well, for example, 20% of Americans. Imagine just controlling 20% of Americans. That could happen in the future. And we're again, the common phrase, we're sleepwalking into this. Bash it with a rock. Butlerian jihad is required right now, maybe. But AI friends and partners and girlfriends and boyfriends, this is just another example of this consolidation of power. Because how many people really run these companies? It's about 5 people maybe at the top of this company that now have access to millions of people and able to almost manipulate millions of people. The same way Google did in the past, the same way Amazon has in the past been able to kind of cohere people in certain directions. This has gone to another level, I believe. And this is just another example of how we are creating the Leviathan, an all-powerful state, an all-powerful being that can control. Anyway, I'll talk more about that in other videos, but we are creating the simulated Leviathan.